Good evening, respected SSR and colleagues. Today, I'll tell you about the spectroscopy. Okay. Before knowing the spectroscopy, we have to know some basic concepts. In this presentation, I will tell you about the basics first, and then what is electromagnetic radiation. For understanding the spectrum, we have to know electromagnetic radiation first, and then we have to know spectrum. After radiation, we have to know about spectrum and its type and its history also. After that, we can go through the spectroscopy and the types. Then OES, optical emission spectroscopy. Actually, our logo should have the optical emission spectroscopy. I will explain about the OS also. After that, finally, question answers. When I prepare this, I covered some question answers. I will explain you. Okay. Okay. Starting from the basics onwards, I will tell you. At first, for learning the spectroscopy, we have to know about the wave. Actually, what is wave? Wave is nothing but actually it is a energy, disturbed energy. Disturbed, it is disturbed, moving in a space without taking any matter. That is called wave actually. Okay. Looking like this only. It is starting point, ending point. This is the one wave actually. This is the one wave. It has a one, it is the highest peak of the wave. This is the lowest peak of the wave. Okay. Highest peak is called crest. Lowest peak is called trough. We know that one. Okay. See here, one, two. Two waves are there. This is the highest peak crest. This is the lowest peak trough. We understand that one. Okay. Next, we have to know about wavelength. We know wave. Next, we have to know about wavelength. The distance between first crest and second crest is called wavelength. Wavelength. Okay. Unit is length means we can measure it in centimeters, meters, nanometers like that. We know meters, centimeters we have seen, but we didn't see the nanometers, right? I'll show you what it is. For example, I take the 1 meter scale. If I want the 1 centimeter, I divide with 100. The scale is 100 lines I kept, and 1 line if I take means that is called centimeter, right? If I take nanometer, I take the 1 meter scale and divide with 10 to the power of 9, 100 crores. 100 crores lines means 1 line is called nanometer. That is called nanometer. Okay. Next, we have to know about frequency. We know wave, wavelength. Now we have to go through the frequency. What is frequency? I took a one point and are releasing the waves. In a 1 second, if it is going one wave means one frequency. In a 1 second, 100 waves are going means 100 frequency. That's it. Very easy. See here is a one line. This is a one wave now. This is a one wave. 1 second, one wave is passing means one hertz. Frequency unit is hertz. This is a one hertz. Here see 1, 2. In a single second, two waves are passing. That's why it is that 2 frequency. Here see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 waves are passing in a single point in a single second. We have to calculate in a single second. That is called frequency. This is the 4 Hz. Hz is the unit of the frequency. Okay. Next, we have to know about the prism. We all know prism. Already we have seen. What is the prism? When we incident any diffused the all energies. Light is combination of so many energies, frequencies or wavelengths, anything. That prism is, what is the use of the prism is, what is the work of prism is, the incident light is diffused into band of colors. We have seen VIBGYOR actually. Now grating. It is the integrated version of prism. Okay, grating is look like this. It consisting of so many lines are there. So many lines are there. Like We observed CD. When you take the CD, if we place any light on it, we can observe so many colors on the CD, right? Like that, there is a one grating is that like this appear in one mm. They will put a lines nearly 500 to 1000 lines are there. What is the use of it? Like a prism, that light is diffused to so many wavelengths. Okay, this is the use of the prism and the grating. Okay, next atomic structure. We have to know about small introduction about atomic structure. See, we know atom consists nucleus and outermost electrons are there. Outer side electrons are there. Atom consists nucleus, outer electrons are there. Nucleus contains protons and neutrons. It is plus charge. Around the nucleus, electrons are revolving. Easy. That's it. We have to know minimum basic. Okay. See here. This is the first shell, second shell, third shell, fourth shell. Four shells are around the nucleus. For example, I am taking lowest energy is which shell is nearer to the nucleus? That is lowest energy. Lowest energy. Which shell is very far? That is the highest energy. Okay. Fine. Next, we have to know about single bond, double bond, triple bonds. Why we are learning means next I will tell you. Okay. Single bond. Carbon between, this is the single bond. Carbon between two lines means double bond. Three lines means triple bond. Okay. Next, functional groups. Functional groups. See, R means nothing but CH3, CH2, CH3 only. 2 CH3 means AN. Okay. Methane, propane. Okay, alkane actually. Next, double bond. There is a double bond means we call it as ene. Methane, propane, ethylene, like that. Triple bond means ene. Okay. OH group, alcohol. Alcohol, OH group is there. X means halogens. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. Those are halogens. Any halogen present means we call it as halo. Halo we have to know. See, ROR, CH3O, CH3. O means ether. That is ether. Carbon, nitrogen. Between three bonds are there. Okay. Carbon, OH. It is an aldehyde group actually. CHO, aldehyde. Okay, minimum basic. Why we are learning? Next I will tell. Okay. Okay, this is the basics. Okay, wavelength, frequency, atomic structure, and prism, grating, functional groups. Okay, bonds. First we have to know what are these. Next we have to go through the electromagnetic radiation. Actually, see what is electromagnetic radiation means. For explain, I will take one charge particle. Charge particle. If it is in a constant motion, it is not moving. It is not moving. It can exhibit electric field, but there is no magnetic field. There is no radiation. Okay. If it is moving with constant speed, charged particle is a rest position means it gives electric field. If the charged particle moving with a constant speed, at the time electric field, magnetic field also comes, but there is no radiation. Okay. Next, if the charged particle changes acceleration means it is moving but changes direction, vibration, rotation, okay, oscillation. Changes direction means at the time electric field produce, magnetic field produce, along with the radiation also produce. Okay, like that electromagnetic radiation form. Any charged particle changes acceleration, at the time electromagnetic radiation will form. That's it. That is the main point. See, is the charged particle rest position, electric field. Charged particle constant moving, electric field produce, magnetic field produce. Charged particle changes direction, at the time that is called acceleration. At the time, electric will produce, magnetic will produce, along with the radiation also produce. Okay. Okay. Radiation coming. One radiation means one wave, two waves. That means radio wave means only one, more than one. Before I told acceleration, more acceleration means more energy. Less acceleration means less energy. More acceleration means more vibrations, more frequency will come. More frequency means gamma rays. Less compared with gamma rays, X-rays. Very less, ultraviolet rays. Very, very less means radio waves. That's it. Based on the acceleration of the charged particle. Based on acceleration of the charged particle. Okay. This type of electromagnetic radiations are there. Electromagnetic radiation. Okay. These are so many types. I am combining and explaining in a single photo. This. It is not a single wave. It is combination of all electromagnetic radiations. See, higher frequency to lower frequency, or less wavelength to high wavelength. Okay, understand? High frequency to low frequency. Okay. See, gamma rays up to radio waves. Very important point. See, radio waves wavelength is 1 meter. That means wavelength 1 meter. Some radio waves are 10 to the power of 4. That means 10,000 kilometers. Sorry, 10,000 meters. 10,000 meter means 10 kilometers. One wave of the radio wave is nearly 10 kilometers. That much wavelength it is coming, radio waves. See, wavelength 10 to the power of minus 14 meters. We know 10 to the power of minus 9 means 1 nanometer. Very, very small. These are very, very small and these are very, very high. Okay. This is the electromagnetic radiation spectrum. In this, mainly we can observe radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible part. Okay. Starting, we found visible region. Visible region. Who started? History of the spectrum I will explain you. Sir Isaac Newton. In 1666, Isaac Newton, he put a hole to the window and placed a prism. That hole, from that hole, one light is coming and falling on the prism. And he observed spectrum of lines. Different color spectrum of lines he observed. And he put the name that is called spectrum. He put the name actually. Okay. After him, 1800. Actually, see, this is the continuous spectrum. Red color to violet color. This is the continuous spectrum. Red color to violet color appeared. Next to 1800, William Herschel. He want to know temperature of each and every colors in the spectrum. Okay, temperature. For that, same ditto. He put a monochromatic light and imposed on a prism. There is a web jar formed. On that each and every point, each and every color, he put a thermometer. That thermometer is coated with black color. Because it is a black body, it is absorbed very high. That's why he put a thermometer on each and every color. From violet to red color. Violet color to red color, he is putting a thermometer. First violet color he kept. It's showing room temperature. Then he put the one by one. And finally he put the red color. He observed that temperature increasing from violet color to red color. And he placed thermometer just outside the red color. He observed that more increase. Actually, room temperature must come at the time. But he observed that more temperature came. He concluded, okay. After red also there is a light is there, but it is invisible. Invisible light is there. At the time he put infrared, other than red, infrared, outside of the red. He put like that. He discovered the infrared rays. Okay. Next year, in 1801, Ritter, one person came, the scientist. He observed other side of the spectrum. This side is red color, na? This side is violet color. He observed other side of the spectrum. Actually, the temperature won't useful because it is showing red color, room temperature only. So he took his silver chloride. What is the use of silver chloride means? Actually, silver chloride is white color. When I place in a light, it lost its color and became a grey color or black color. Okay. So he placed the silver chloride on each and every color he placed. Each and every color is changing the color, changes to grey color, and he placed other than the violet color. He observed there is a change in color. It's also changed. So he also concluded outside before violet color there is a light is there. There is a light, but it is also invisible. Okay, spectrum is not only a Vibjar, it is more than that. See, silver chloride look like white color. If we place it in a light, it become a grey color. Okay. Okay. In 1859, two persons came, Bunsen and Kirchhoff. What they did means, we know sodium metal, sodium, potassium, lithium, like that, na? What they did, okay, light is giving a continuous spectrum. Light is giving a continuous spectrum. We will create a one flame. We create one flame and observe the spectrum. Okay. They move forward. They take the sodium and ignited it. Ignited. Sodium is igniting now. The trace placed on a prism. The trace placed on a prism and observe the spectrum. What they observed is, they think maybe it is like coming like this, but it is not came like this. It came like this. See, same yellow color. See here, blue color. Some part only coming, remaining part all missed. That okay, maybe they took another sample, lithium. Same process they done. They observed different colors. See, red color, yellow color, green color, light blue and blue color. Okay, different came. They put a beside and beside. Sodium is like coming like this, and lithium is coming like this. Okay, each and every element showing different patterns. When we burn it, different patterns are coming. Okay, so not them. Total periodic table look like this. It is a fingerprint of each and every element showing a different spectrum. It is very helpful. Okay, like this spectrum came. Okay, very important point is helium. Helium actually it is not discovered in our earth. It is discovered in sun. Okay, discovered in sun. How they done means 1868. Pierre Johnson in our India, that is actually that day is eclipse day. Eclipse. Moon is come between the earth and the sun. That is not that much glow. Only outer layer only coming. At the time he observed spectrum of light from the sun. He observed different spectrum. That spectrum is not coincide with any element. The spectrum is not coincide with any element. Okay, it is not a element. It is not known element. That's why they took the Greek word of the sun, Helios. He put the name helium. Okay, like that. Helium name came. That is also we called it as alien element. Helium is called alien element because it is found on the sun by spectroscopy only. By spectroscopy only we find the helium element on the sun. Okay. This is a Pierce Johnson. Okay. Starting sunlight coming, put on a prism, continuous spectrum came, right? But after that, sodium glowed, lithium glowed, but some lines only came. Okay. Why? What is the difference? I will tell you. Okay. Sir, first see, there is a source. There is a full source, and applied on imposed incident on the prism. It is a continuous spectrum is there. Between nothing is there. Any gas or any element, nothing is there. So light is the continuous spectrum. Okay. Now I placed any element between the light and the prism. What element they do means they absorb the some amount of wavelength. They absorb the some amount of wavelength. For example, if I sending 100 numbers I am sending. 100 numbers I am sending at the time for excitation. It required 54, 58. For example, 54, 58. It will take that two numbers only. 54, 58. It will take. Remaining 1 to 100 it will release for excitation. This element for excitation, it is taking some amount of wavelength only. See, in the full spectrum, some amount of wavelength only it is taking. Remaining all it is giving out. This is called absorption spectrum. Absorption spectrum is background is white, fully bright light, and dark lines will come. Okay. Next, we will go to the emission spectrum. What it is? We take off that light. We burn that material, and from that burning, we observe the spectrum. For excitation, it will take some amount of energy. When it is burning, it releases that wavelength only. For example, before I told 54, 58 only, it takes. When it is glowing, it releases that particular wavelength only. So, that particular waves only coming. Emission spectrum, background is fully black, some lines only coming. Understand? Continuous spectrum, absorption spectrum, emission spectrum. Okay. This is. Okay, spectrum and its history, understand? Easy. Okay. Next, we can go through the spectroscopy and its types. Okay. What is spectroscopy? Electromagnetic radiation I am taking. I am taking electromagnetic radiation. We know what is the electromagnetic radiation. I take the sample, and electromagnetic radiations are coming and touch the element, touch that material. This material can do transmit that light, reflect that light, refraction that light, diffuse that light, absorb, emit, scatter. So many types are there, right? Based on that interaction, spectroscopies are divided. There are mainly three types are there: absorption spectrum, emission spectrum, scattering spectrum. Okay. Absorption spectrum already told. There is a light is there. That material I kept here. Light is passing through that gas. It takes some amount of wavelength only and release the remaining all. This is absorption spectrum. Absorption spectrum is full bright and some lines only missing. Why it is happening? Means when we are giving any energy to any element I am taking, I am giving the energy. What happen means the electrons in the lowest energy, they will take that energy and going to the highest energy. See, nucleus, lowest energy is first shell, next shell is highest energy. When you are giving the energy to the element, that electron will take that energy and get the more energy. So it will jump from the lower energy to higher energy. Okay, jumping and releases the remaining all. What are the these missing lines are there? Missing lines are absorb the energy by the element. Remaining lines, remaining color, it is released by that element. That's it. This is the absorption spectrum. Based on it, there are so many types of spectrums are there. Atomic absorption spectrum. Okay. Atomic absorption spectrum. By using this spectrum, we can find out elements. What type of element is present in the given compound? Hydrogen, helium, lithium, anything we can find by the atomic absorption spectrum. Okay, no problem. Next, in the absorption spectrum only, another one is UV visible spectrum. In this, what is the UV visible spectrum? Means source. Absorption spectrum main point is source. It has a source that is used by the source. Okay. This is also find out molecules, elements. Okay. What happening means when I pass the source on that material, electronic transition takes place. Electronic transition. What is electronic transition? See, already told na, carbon single bond carbon, carbon double bond carbon, carbon two bonds are there. What are these means? I gave one molecule to one compound to the industry and tell them please find out how many single bonds structure. Find out like that I asked. What they do means UV spectrum, they place the material in the UV spectrum and find out how many single bonds are there, how many double bonds are there. Like that they found the molecule, found that molecule and compound and tell the which molecule, which compound it is present in the given sample. Like that they found. Okay. It is used in the protein concentration, drug ingredients, nitrates, COD, chemical oxygen demand. Okay, chemical oxygen demands, organic pollutants in our air, water, anything, any pollutant in the soil, any pollutant means they can find out by using the spectrum, this spectroscopy. Next, infrared spectroscopy. This is also example of absorption spectroscopy. In a radiation from gamma rays to radio waves, energy decreasing actually. Okay, UV light, visible light. Next, infrared. That means UV light has a more energy, visible light is somewhat little, infrared is very less. No? Correct. That means the infrared has not sufficient energy to throw the electron from the lowest energy to highest energy. It don't have that power. Infrared rays don't have that power, but they can vibrate. What is the vibration? See, OH bond, particular vibration will come. OH bond. C double bond or bond, particular type of vibration is come. It is a fingerprint like. When an infrared rays passing on a molecule, C double bond O vibrate one type, alkyl group vibrate one type, okay, acidity group vibrate one type. Like that, we can find out functional groups in the given compound. We can find. Next, emission spectrum. Emission spectrum means we don't need a source. We just ignite that material. From that source, we take that light and falling on the prism or grating, and different wavelengths coming. By using that, we can find the elements. We can find. Okay. Already told absorption spectrum starting atomic absorption spectrum, finding elements. Here, emission spectrum also finding elements. What is the use? We can use emission spectrum na? Or otherwise we can use absorption spectrum, atomic absorption spectrum. Why we are taking different emission spectroscopy and atomic absorption spectroscopy we are using? See, for example, I gave the water, and asked to find out the mercury level. Mercury, find out mercury. I given to emission spectroscopy and I gave to absorption spectroscopy. Okay. In emission spectroscopy, they will give the result. In absorption spectrum also they will give the result. Absorption spectroscopy, they use the light wavelength which is equivalent to the mercury only. Okay, na equivalent to the mercury level wavelength, source wavelength must be coincide. Okay, then only it will give the value. In emission spectroscopy, they just burn it, and by that we can find the mercury level. Again, I am telling, see, for example, in that water molecule, sodium is there, mercury is there. Sodium and mercury. I gave the absorption spectroscopy. One light is using now. We are using one light. That light must be coincide with any one element only. It cannot find the second element. Absorption spectroscopy find only one element. It cannot give the information about second element. But in emission spectroscopy, it gives the both elements. What is the use? Okay, it is giving the both elements. We can use the emission spectroscopy. No. Absorption spectroscopy give accurate value of mercury. For example, sodium 99 is there. Mercury 1. I give the absorption spectroscopy. It gives exactly 1. Mercury is present 1. But in emission spectroscopy, are you giving? It gives the information about sodium and mercury also. And range it will give. Range. Maybe it will come 95 to 98. Maybe it will come 1 to 2. Like that it will give the range. Okay. That is the main difference between emission spectroscopy and atomic absorption spectroscopy. This is also same. Pollutants we can find. Chemical composition we can find. Stars, different stars, the light is coming. From that light onwards, we can tell the elements, what is the elements present in them, like that we can find. Okay. Scattering spectroscopy. It is also example of Raman spectroscopy. What is actually Raman spectroscopy? I will tell. If I take any material, if I impose light on it, so many light particles will scattered. For example, I am taking one frequency of light and applied, scattered takes place. It is a 50 edges, for example, 50 edges frequency I sending. Here, so many scattered na. Maximum 99.99 rays are getting same frequency, 50 edges only. Very less, 0.001% frequency change. What happened actually? That material will take that energy. Okay. By the scattering of light, there is a change in them. Without changing is called Rayleigh scattering. The scattering is Rayleigh scattering. See, for example, one frequency light I am taking, same frequency coming means Rayleigh scattering. Okay. Some frequencies, some rays are getting different frequencies. That is called Raman scattering. Those are called Raman scattering. Again, there are two types. Stokes, anti-Stokes. What is Stokes, anti-Stokes? I will tell. For example, I am taking the one element. I am taking the energy from the source. Taking remaining rays only it is coming out, right? Remaining rays only coming out. For example, I am sending 100 power, it taking 2 power, and outside how much it will come? 98 na? Decreased. Incident ray energy, okay. Scattering ray energy they calculate. Okay, 2% it is used. Okay, like that. That is called Stokes. Okay. Next, I'm taking that element and impose that light. I'm giving the frequency with 100 edges, for example, 100 power, coming out with 1 or 2. That means this element giving some amount of energy to the upcoming rays. That is called anti-stoke. How it is possible? Actually, element all are ground state. If any line coming, any rays coming means it will take na. Actually, how it will give? It is taking and releasing releasing remaining. But when we take in a higher temperature, that means that element is already excited state. That electrons are already excited state. When they are coming down from the higher energy to lower energy, they will give the energy to the already coming rays. That's why energy increases. Okay, very important part. Like that, based on the Stokes, anti-Stokes, difference in the frequencies, they can find out molecules. It is also fingerprint like molecules, compound they can find. Okay. See, relay scattering. This much amount of energy I am giving, same energy coming out. There is no change in any energy level. But here I am giving, it is taking that electron, that element, take the some amount of energy and releasing some only. Okay, this is a Stoke. I am giving some amount of energy, but releasing more amount of energy than the released energy, anti-Stoke. Okay, this is. It is very nice actually Raman spectroscopy, but some drawbacks are there. What is the drawbacks means? Scattered. Scattered is 99.99% we cannot observe. Only very very less scattered lines, Raman scatter lines will come out. That is very very less na. For calculating, it is very difficult actually. And if that is given a compound, if they asked about less concentration, low concentration, it cannot give exact, it cannot give the proper value. That means that given molecule, given compound, very very less amount of concentration, any element is there. Please tell what is the concentration of that element. If they ask means scattering spectroscopy, difficult to do that. That is the point. Okay, spectroscopy, total all spectroscopies, where we have to observe means stars, galaxies, what are they made up of, what are the elements present are there, what type of bondings, molecules are there, like that we can find it. In the galaxies also. Very, very far distance light coming now. Scientists observe that light by using the spectroscopy and find out wavelengths of elements and compare them. They find out, okay, this type of elements may present, this type of compounds may present, like that they can tell. Okay, we can find the element, but what about the percentage? Sun contains hydrogen and helium, hydrogen 75%, helium 25%. How they tell? How they find? They find by spectroscope. How means hydrogen wavelength coming now? How much bright it is? That light is how much bright? The wavelength, the spectrum is how much bright it is? That brightness, they calculate the concentration. Very very less coming means they will give the less concentration, like that we can tell. Okay. Next, metallurgy. In metallurgy, what type of metals are there? What type of non-metals also we can find? Okay, like that we can find the what type of elements are there. Forensic, forensic also, what type of material? For example, any drug he taken. What is the drug? Okay, any food poison is there. What is the poison? There, it is there in the blood. They can find by using the spectroscope. Environmental. In environmental, heavy metals in a water we can find by using the spectroscope. Water content. Fluorine is there. How much more fluorine means very dangerous. You can find by using the spectroscope. Yeah. Next, OES. Here optical emission spectroscopy. Optical emission spectroscopy. Here light is no need. Just we give the spark to that element. That element will burn and give spectrum. That's it. Okay. Spark excites the atoms. That elements, that compound has some more elements. Na? That elements will excited and give the spectrum. That is a OES. What happened means, see, nucleus, lowest energy, highest energy. When I am burning, this lowest energy electrons will go upside. Lowest energy to highest energy, it is going. It won't stay there. It won't stay there. They will come back. They will drop from lowest energy to the highest energy to lowest energy. When they are coming, they release the energy. They release the energy. See, E2 to E1 is the lowest energy. This is the highest energy. That electron coming from the highest energy to lowest energy, it gives the energy. That is called wavelength. Okay, a particular frequency it is releasing. It is coming like this. Okay, for example, carbon I take. It is coming like this only. Okay, this is the spectrum of the carbon. Procedure I will tell. What is the procedure we are doing? This is our emission spectroscopy. This is the spectroscopy. This place is the, I will show you next. This place is the sample placed this year, and we are using argon gas. Why argon gas? I will tell. Why argon gas? Okay. Before calculate that material, we have to calibrate our machine. It is properly working or not by using the CRM samples. CRM means certified reference materials. We have certified reference materials. These are the CRM materials, and their certification is there. By using them, see for example, SS 304, SS stainless steel 304. I am taking 304. Percentage of carbon is 0.08 maximum. That means that material must contain carbon in 0.08 maximum only. See here, carbon 0.0126, 0.016. It is less than 0.08. Okay, good. Next, 0.045 phosphorus, 0.045 maximum. Phosphorus we have to observe 0.02, 0.045. Okay, it is also in the range only. Next, sulfur 0.03 maximum. Sulfur 0.02 is only good. Next, manganese 2 maximum. Manganese 1.23. It is also in the range only. Maximum 2. Next, chromium 18 to 20. It must contain 18 to 20. Chromium 18.93. 18.93. It is in between the 18 to 20. Okay. Like this, we can calculate, we can observe our machine is working properly or not. Okay. Next, we take the sample and prepare for the result. Prepare for the doing that. First, what we have to do means we take the sample here. See, we have to grind that sample. Grind it. Before sample is look like this. After grinding, it is appearing like this. Okay. Why? What is the use? It must be clean. Surface must be clean, very shine, very. There must be there must not be any up and downs. Very straight. It must surface must be straight. For that we are grinding that material by using the grinding machine. This is our grinding machine. Okay. Next, what we have to do means take that sample and place it on a electrode. This is our electrode place. On that we place the material and fix it. Very tightly fix it. Okay, tightly fixed. And applied the spark. There is a spark formation takes place. After spark, look like this. There is a burning area. there spark came, and result appearing like this. We can find out, we can find the specification is there. In the specification, some percentages they mentioned. We can calculate, we can observe it is in the range or not. Like that, we can tell the answer. What happening actually is, first I am taking the sample, I am grinding it and place on a sample holder place and give the spark. I am giving the spark. Okay. What actually is, when giving the spark, there is a light formation takes place. How we avoid light formation? Actually, spark between the electrode and the material, right? Spark between electrode and material. It gives, we are applying 11,000 DC volt between those two materials. 11,000 DC volt. In that voltage, that material does not become liquid. It is become vapor. That material become vapor, and that vapor burns it. That vapor become burn, and that light is falling on a grating. Already I told you, grating is work like a prism, and it will diffuse that upcoming light, different, and falling on a PMT, photomultiplier tubes. Those are detectors. Photomultiplier tubes are detectors. They will detect each and every element present in the given compound and tell what are the elements are there. But we can find percentage also. How? By the brightness. By the brightness, we can tell how much percentage it is. We can tell. Okay. This is the spectral lens. What type of materials we can use we can detect by our OS spectroscopy? Carbon steel, alloy steel, stainless steel, aluminum, copper also we can find. Okay. Advantage is very speed. We can tell what type of element it is, what percentage it is. We can tell within a 5 to 10 minutes only. We can tell elements. So many elements. We can tell what type of element you want means we can tell that element. We can explain. We can tell that element is present or not, how much percentage it is. Like that we can tell. Sample preparation is very easy. Just we have to grind it, and that surface must be flat. There must not be any dirt on it. That's it. Enough. It will give the result. Non-destructive. Maximum it won't break. It won't spoil our material. Just give the one spark only, and little bit dark line only it will come. That's it. We can use that material also. No problem. Disadvantage is that spark only. Very spark lines are there. Na? Spark lines will fall on the. It will appear on that material. And preparation is very strict. Okay. Little bit. Okay. Okay. Not okay. 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 Next, surface must be strict. Cleaning must be strict. Flat. That material must be flat. Any up and down means it does not give the accurate percentage. That is the problem. Airtight. I told you airtight. Important. Why airtight? Just we are putting the material and very nearer to the electrode. Just to give the spark. That's it. No. When we are sparking, when we are giving the sparking, elements are coming. Those are unstable. They want to stable. So for that they react with the oxygen in our atmosphere and become oxide. Okay. For that we are using the argon gas. Argon gas is the noble gas, right? In that area we apply fully argon gas. There is no air at that place. That is a very important. Airtight. If it is oxygen present, it does not give the proper value, because oxide forming, it is not a element, it is actually molecule, become molecule, and you cannot get the proper value. Okay. Okay. Next question and answer. I found some doubts on it and I clarified myself, and I will tell you. Okay. Starting, we observed starting from the sun. Actually, it is made up of hydrogen and helium, na? Hydrogen and helium only. Then we place that light on the prism and we get the continuous spectrum, full spectrum coming. How it is possible? Actually, hydrogen and helium, it must give hydrogen or it must be helium only. Why it is giving all continuous spectrum? Why it is giving? Because here first we have to know the structure of the sun actually. Here main point is photosphere. Photosphere, that light, main light is coming from photosphere only. Okay. Next, chromosphere is there. It is less temperature than photosphere around it. Next, corona. It is sun winds are there. Big winds are there. That is corona. In the photosphere, hydrogen present, charged electrons. Electrons are there. E minus electrons. There hydrogen, electrons very charged, high energy. Na? They want to become stable. They want to sit at anywhere. So they are coming and sitting at the outermost shell of the hydrogen. But hydrogen don't it, it it don't tell the okay you can go like that. It don't tell. Why? Because if I take one electron, it become helium. Helium. So it is stable. So it want to say okay you can sit like that. It will tell. But it is outermost shell. It is unstable. Any electron, any energy coming and hitting on that, that electron will go out again very fastly. Understand? Hydrogen, electron is coming and sitting at the outermost electron. This is electron is very unstable. It any energy, anything, any energy. That means it does not depend on particular wavelength. It does not depend particular wavelength. If it is a green light, yellow light, red light, anything coming, it will go out. Okay, it will go out now. Then again coming down, it is releasing the energy. Okay, like that. So many electrons are doing, and it is a dense area. That photosphere is a dense area. Very dense means they are bombarded with one another. Bombarding. Okay, they're releasing full wavelength of light. That's why we are getting the continuous spectrum. Okay, how we find the helium at there? Because that day is eclipse day. What is eclipse? The sun is coming and placed here, na. Middle light it is not coming. Only that light is coming from the outermost only. There less heat when compared with photosphere. That light is falling on that area, that chromosphere. What elements present in there? They will give the emission spectrum, right? Okay, that there helium, hydrogen at the time we can find like that. Scientists find the helium at the sun. Okay. Next, important, absorb spectrum can find the element. Already explained you. Absorb spectrum can give the element information. Emission spectrum also giving the element information. Why we are using different means? In absorb spectrum, it can give the result of only one element at a time. But emission spectrum give so many elements in a single time. And very important point is absorb spectrum must use the light. That light wavelength must coincide with the what element we have to find out. Helium, for example, mercury lamp. Mercury we have to find. Mercury lamp we have to take. Like that. Okay. Sodium we have to find. Sodium lamp we have to find. Like that. That wavelength must be coincide with that what element we have to find. In emission spectrum, no need. Just we have to give the spark. Okay, that's it. Okay. I already told in emission spectrum, one electrode we are used. What type of electrode it is? It is a tungsten electrode. Tungsten. Okay. Okay. Very important. Argon gas. Why argon gas? Argon gas used for removal of oxidation. If there is no argon gas means the released elements they want to stable, so they react with oxygen present in our atmosphere and become oxide. To eliminate it, we are using the argon gas. Okay. Next point is electrode. What is electrode? Tungsten. It is also element. Argon also element. We are finding elements now. So they are also burning. Argon gas also burning. then the spark is takes place. Tungsten also burning. What about the spectrum? Argon also coming or not? Tungsten also coming or not? They will come. In the result, argon gas will come, tungsten also will come. Because they are also burning na? In the spark when takes place, argon gas burning, tungsten also burning. There, those two gases also give the emission spectrum. Okay. For example, if that material has the argon, what about that? Argon already present in that element, and here we are using the argon gas. What about the result? At the time, our machine is developed. They remove the argon gas and tungsten gas, tungsten result. They took reference material, reference these two, and give the element present in the material. Okay. Okay. Here already told for the spark formation, what amount of voltage we are using means 11,000 DC voltage. DC why? AC we can use na? Why we are using DC? AC means alternative current. DC means direct current. Alternative current cannot give that intensity to the spark. Elements must be within a second, it must become gas and give the light. If it is taking some time, it won't give the exact result. That's why we are taking DC current. Okay. That's it. Thank you.